You are watching Business Heroine TV for the entrepreneur who says she will and does. Join the Business Heroine community today at businessheroinemagazine.com. And now, tune into the show.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ann Perry, founder of Business Heroine, and I am here today with our beautiful May cover heroine, Jovanka Ciares. Now, Jovanka is a transformational coach. She specializes in detox and digestive health. She's an author and producer based in New York City and Los Angeles. So you're going to absolutely love hearing from Jovanka. She has a private coaching practice, a YouTube show, the Weekly Jolt. She gives live lectures and online detox programs and really brings her formula for healthy living to audiences both in English and in Spanish. So Jovanka has a rare talent for making healthy living fun, simple, and sexy. And her approach to mind-body wellness has earned her thousands of fans all over the world and regular slots on media outlets such as NPR, CBS Radio, Telemundo, the Huffington Post, and MindBodyGreen. And she's also been featured at Veria Living TV, Huffington Post Live, and TEDx. So Jovanka is the author of 3 books and the creator of a transformational online program, the Sexy Belly Cleanse. Love it. She's trained in plant-based nutrition with a degree from Cornell. So Jovanka's been called a miracle worker, a total spitfire, and the woman to call for a wellness smackdown. So how lucky are we? Welcome, Jovanka.
Thank you for that beautiful intro, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to just jump into this conversation. So your story fascinates me. I love hearing how people's careers evolve. And I know that you spent 12 years climbing the corporate ladder. You became the vice president at a large multinational corporation. All this before you became an entrepreneur. So what is it that motivated you to leave this lucrative corporate career and start working on your own?
My body was what motivated me. Is what I like to say to people is my body gave me a little bit of a smackdown. While I was climbing the corporate ladder and I was being highly successful at it, my life was falling apart. I had all sorts of problems, and my smackdown came in the form of digestive issues like ulcers and something called IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. And as hormonal issues, I had fibroids, I had endometriosis. I mean, I had it all of it before I turned 30.
Wow.
So, I wanted to be successful, but I recognized that without a healthy body, there was no way, no amount of, great jobs and fancy perks and lots of money was going to make me happy. So I started researching and learning, and what I learned changed my life. And I became so passionate about it that it became my mission to allow people to, in many ways, it's like one of my clients say, I like to put a fire under people's butts. So that smackdown.
Say that again? You like to beautify, say that again?
I like to put a little light a fire under people's behinds.
Oh, light a fire. Okay, got it.
Fire. So that smackdown doesn't come as a disease, but rather as just let me be that smackdown so that you can prevent those diseases, so that you don't have to suffer through it. And that's what I do. I work on a lot of mind-body techniques and help people to be curious and be passionate about their beautiful vessel, imperfect as it might be. It is your vessel. It's what's going to carry you through the next, through 80 years of life in energy, in vitality, in strength.
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear more about your career as an entrepreneur, but I have a question real quick that's coming up for me, which is, why do you think that we ignore our bodies and end up needing to get a smackdown? Do you have any insights on that?
Yeah, I mean, we take things for granted. It's almost like when you and we do it with everything in life. We know that we are semi-healthy. We are lucky. We are the lucky few that have, alternatives that can move our limbs and can carry on and do things. And so you do things like feeding your mind the wrong type of thoughts or feeding your body the wrong type of thoughts, but things don't happen immediately. So you may have some soda and some McDonald's, and yeah, you may have a little bit of indigestion, but you didn't die. So you're like, oh, this is not going to kill me. So I'm going to keep on doing this because it's about instant gratification. And unfortunately, in this society, in today's day and age, we have become a society of convenience. Mm-hmm. We want things to happen really quickly. We want pleasure to come our way very quickly. That's why we engage in behaviors that we know is not right. We know it's not good to drink soda, but we keep drinking it because we like the sugar rush. We like the instant gratification that it brings us. And then we take our bodies for granted, and then we wait until our bodies smack us down, and then we expect things to get back to normal also in an instant. It's that mentality of instant gratification. I think that is changing because we are being forced to change, because so many of us are suffering from preventable diseases today, of the body, but also of the mind and soul, that we are slowly but steadily recognizing we need to take care of our bodies. This is the only life that we have, and we need to make it our best.
Yeah. It's so true. And, we have a lot of women who write for Business Heroine magazine and who are all about self-care. And it's just become, it's not separate than business and entrepreneurship. It's so important. It's all of it, because we can run ourselves to the ground. Like you say, we can sort of just ignore things because we're not dying, or maybe we don't know what vitality can feel like. So we don't even know we're settling for less than that.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well, I love that you bring the Smackdown. It's awesome. So let's talk about entrepreneurship again. As you built your career as an entrepreneur, jumping out of the corporate world and built this career, what were some of the biggest challenges for you?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. The biggest challenge for me, well, there were two, but the first one was, how lonely I felt and how kind of lost. I knew I had the passion. I knew I had the knowledge, but I didn't have community and partnership. And that is so important. As women, we love to partner. We love to come together. We do it with our girlfriends every weekend. Even if we're married and have, things going on, we love to come together. It's part of what we need. But as an entrepreneur, that's also so incredibly important. There is no way that you can do it all. And when you're first starting, you become a solopreneur, and you think because you're really smart and you're capable, and you're amazing, and you have these many talents, but you don't have all the talents in the world. And recognizing that some of your talents, some of your time can be used for your amazing talents, and allowing other people to use their amazing talents is incredibly important. So when I was in corporate America, I spent 12 years building that partnership and connections and beautiful, meaningful relationships with colleagues and partners. And then I recognized very quickly, thankfully, I need to do the same thing that I did in corporate America. And it doesn't have to take you 10 or 12 years. But as an entrepreneur, you recognize that you need to work a little bit harder. I'm sarcastic when I say a little bit. Yeah. Because the information is not coming your way. You're not going to have the cushion of a big corporation sending you on business trips and and giving you already their contacts. You have to go get those yourselves. So what I did, and I recommend everybody to do, is, head on to your local meetup groups. And it doesn't have to be just about business meetups. It could be, say you're a vegetarian, go to a vegetarian meetup one day, or go to a singles meetup. There's or married couples meetup. There's tons of other stuff out there, and then you start talking to people, and they recommend you to go to other place, and those people recommend you to try something else, and maybe sign up for some magazines and call people up and email them and tell them, let's go out for coffee. I just want to hear your story. I want to know what you're all about. And I want to learn from your experience. And people love telling their stories. So, you'll be doing something great. You're allowing someone else to be listened. And then you're getting a lot of information out of them. So that was one of the biggest challenges. And the other one was learning how to let go and give up. Mm-hmm. And by giving up, I don't mean giving up on your dreams and giving up on the idea that you're going to, things are going to be tough. It could potentially take a few years for you to start seeing, getting traction and getting new clients and building a career and a life that you want. What I'm talking about is having clarity about what you want. And that sometimes means, I'm going to have a plan. I know, I know exactly where am I going to be or what I want to be 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 24 months from now. Mm-hmm. That would allow you to see, okay, you know what? This particular business idea may not be viable for me. It may not work for my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It may not work for, what I want to do 5 years down the line. Or it's just not viable. I'm really not that passionate as I thought I would be about this. So letting that go is so important because we work so hard. We build websites and we come up with all these fabulous things, and then things don't work out exactly as we want to. And then we say, well, it's embarrassing. Oh my God, I got to keep trying because it's what we're supposed to do. And then you get into that cycle that could be really dangerous. You can run through a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of time with that mentality. If instead you recognize, certain things are not meant for me, and I recognize that I am a multi-talented entrepreneur, so this one didn't work, I'm just going to leave it behind, I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to learn from that experience. It's not a failure. To me, it's an evolution. You're evolving. You're becoming a stronger, wiser, more successful human being in all ways, in all areas of life, when you learn to let go of something that's not working for you any longer.
Oh, wow. Pure wisdom. Pure wisdom. Yeah. I mean, I would like to just speak to that a little bit because the community part, I went through the same thing, just so lonely. And it's not just sort of physically being lonely. It's like our thoughts need outside stimulation, and we can only think of so much. We're one brain. And it's just really important to be surrounded by an environment of what is possible in entrepreneurship. Because, in my own life, it's like I was just I had this concept of what I believed was possible, but I wasn't around it every day. So I was just sort of believing and wandering in the dark with this lantern. And so, yeah, with Business Heroine, we have a Facebook group, and there's just very much, it's so, so important to tap into a network. Like you said, whether it can be a meetup group in your town, if it's online Facebook groups, but just being around that conversation is vital.
Absolutely.
And just having this conversation with you here right now, it makes it less lonely. It's like...
Absolutely. Yeah. You're brainstorming, you're learning, you're meeting beautiful people that have beautiful ideas, and it just feeds your soul, and then you come out of it stronger and ready for more.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that about, being willing to let something go, because it's like finding that balance between perseverance and surrender, because it is important to not be a quitter and, to keep going. And, most people quit when they're just like right about to crack through. Yeah. And at the same time, like you're saying, recognizing when something is just not the right fit for you, it's okay to decide that that's not happening. To be willing to start over.
Absolutely. It's exactly, well, you said it beautifully. It is a fine line between perseverance and surrender. And just recognizing that alone will get you very far and will shed a lot of tears and frustration, for sure.
Yes, which all comes back to the self-care stuff.
Absolutely.
So, and I want to jump back into that. So in your work, your books, your programs, your lectures, you talk a lot about detox, but not necessarily in the traditional sense of the word, the way we think of it. So you focus on detoxification. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So I do focus on the traditional way of detoxifying or doing detoxes, because I believe that that's important. but that's not all there is. So yes, there's a part of it that is extremely important because we live in a toxic world, and we're a lot more toxic today than we were at the beginning of the 20th century. So our grandparents were not exposed to the amount of toxicity that we are. So it is, and we're the same type of human, right? We are just genetically with the same kind of human being as our grandparents. Yet the environment is a very different environment than when our grandparents were growing up. So it's extremely important to have techniques to live a life and commit to the idea of detoxifying on a regular basis. And by that, I don't mean you're going to be drinking green juices for the rest of your life every day of the week. I mean, adding little techniques and things that you can do throughout your life span that is going to help you cleanse as much as you can. So that is the traditional way of cleansing, and certainly I do. My signature program is a cleanse program because I do believe that we need that in our lives, and we need to learn what works. But on the other hand, my view is very holistic. It's not just about feeding your body clean foods. It's about feeding your mind beautiful thoughts. It's about feeding your soul thoughts and ideas and values that are going to help you live a life of wellness, a life in well, as I tell my clients, because we cannot function without the other. They're not mutually exclusive. We are not just a body or a mind or a soul. We are a mind, body, and spirit, and you cannot thrive when one part of you is kind of pushing or pulling in a separate direction. So we have to go back to what we are and who we are, and understanding that the world is not our playground, it's our home. Our bodies are our home. We need to treat them like luxury hotels, like luxury vehicles. You wouldn't vandalize a 5-star hotel ever. You wouldn't dare. So why would you want to vandalize and deteriorate and litter your beautiful 5-star hotel, your beautiful vessel, your beautiful luxury vehicle? It's yours, and learning how to respect it and to treat it with kindness will help you treat others with kindness, will help you treat the world around you with kindness. And then you can go out into the world and become that beautiful businesswoman or mother or partner that you want to become. But taking care of self needs to be the number one priority.
I love it. So great. So I wanted to talk more about that, being selfish.
Yes.
That's because you say that. You say, you need to become selfish. So that's kind of a bold statement and can be controversial, especially as women. We're taught to be giving and not selfish. So tell us what you mean by that.
Yes. I ask people to remember if you've ever been on a plane and they tell you, when they're going through the security spiel, they tell you, put the mask on first and then help others. You cannot, as I said earlier, you cannot thrive. You cannot be a great businesswoman, a great mother, a great partner, a great friend, if you have a body that is falling apart. If you would ask anybody that has ever been on dialysis or is suffering from any kind of chronic disease, and or even if you have had the flu, just think about that, because most of us have had a bad cold at one point or another. How are we going to take care of others when our bodies are falling apart? And as you mentioned earlier, our bodies may not be falling apart, obviously, but what about our emotions? What about our souls? So in this day and age, so much is being asked of women. I mean, so much is expected of us. Much more than it was expected of our mothers and our grandmothers and great grandmothers. We are expected to be amazing businesswomen. We are expected to be great mothers, and by the way, you have to be beautiful, and you have to have skin and a 26-inch waist, and it's a lot. And to me, we're yin and yang. All humans are yin and yang, right? It needs to be an energy of giving and receiving. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If all you do is give, How are you going to be successful in business? Receiving involves receiving new business, receiving, money, receiving sales, receiving opportunities. So it's not just about, receiving from a point of view of just being pampered. It's about allowing, we are natural givers. As women, we are. We love to nurture. It's what we are. And we are perfect at that. We don't need to master the art of giving. We know how to do that. What we need to master is the art of receiving, of participating in that giving, receiving cycle that makes your body, goes back to balance, that makes you go back to that yin and yang state that your body naturally wants to go back to.
Yes. I just love your perspective and everything you say. I'm soaking it up like a sponge, and I love the passion and the fire that's there. And, I just want to add about that receiving piece is that if you're listening to this right now and you are just an overgiver and you have a hard time receiving, you are depriving somebody else of the opportunity to give to you because it feels good to give. And so you're not allowing somebody else to give if you are not willing to receive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better. That's beautiful. And it reminds you of being there for others. That is also part of the art of giving. It's allowing others to be heard or to be givers themselves. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. So this is awesome. If I ever wanted a Smackdown, it's a Jovanka Smackdown, I've decided. So what are some of the principles that all of us should follow to really take care of our bodies, our destiny, our longevity?
Oh, I have a lot, but I'm going to give you a handful for now, and I guess we can take it from there. I guess the first one would be to take the power back. Mm-hmm. And by that, what I mean is no longer should you be blaming your genes or your childhood or your whatever background, whatever baggage you have. Oh, I've never been able to lose the weight, or I've never been able to be in a serious relationship, or whatever it is. No longer. I mean, if you believe in God or in heavens or whatever it is that you believe in, know this. We came into this plane with this amazing, brains. And we're not the only ones. Other people have too. And they have been able to create beautiful things. So be curious. We are born with natural curiosity. Learn what works. Find out. No longer should you be blaming something else. From now on, you have the power. You have the power to take control of your life and to never again feel like a victim. Mm-hmm. So, I love telling people things like that. It is up to you. We cannot be spoon-fed any longer. Mm-hmm. And that takes me to another point. Another one of my little principles, which is learn what works. We have been spoon-fed information for generations. I don't know, milk is good for you. Is it really? How do we know that? Do we know that because some celebrity is in a magazine with a glass of milk, or with some celebrities in a magazine with a glass of whatever, a can of soda? Do we know what really happens to our bodies once we put that stuff in? Let's be curious. Let's find out. Let's question the status quo. Why not? I mean, we are also taught not to question authority, but now we're adults and we know better. And we have so much information out there. So look at both sides of the coin and then make that decision for yourself. I'm not asking you to decide to listen to anybody blindly. I'm asking you to be curious, to be the CEO of your own life, of your own body. And as a CEO, you have control, you have the power, you have decision-making power. So use that and allow that to work for you. Let's see. I love also, I love this one. It's actually not mine, but I use it a lot. It's energy flows where attention goes. I think it's something like the Huna people of Hawaii or something came up with that principle, and it's one of their big principles. And for me, what it means is, if you believe that something is possible, then it is. Mm-hmm. If you believe that you can get up 10 minutes earlier in the morning just to do meditation or yoga or to make your smoothie in the morning, then you can. Mm-hmm. If you believe that it's not possible, that it's too hard, then it will always be hard. Yeah. There are no limits to what you put your mind to. But you have to allow yourself to be limitless and to be fearless. And then definitely take care of yourself. That's very, very important to me. Being selfish is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. I think it's just, paying attention to self-love, paying attention to your body is talking to us all the time. Paying attention to your elimination, to what you put in, maybe writing a journal and getting in touch with your body and listening to it, because it's doing an amazing job at carrying you through life. And you want to get through, the next 40, 50, 60 years, with a beautiful body that is flexible and that is moving and that is happy and that can, you can enjoy your retirement years. Yeah. It really is not as much fun if you have to be, relying on pills to get up in the morning every morning.
Yeah. Well, I know that the heroines listening right now are inspired, and I know so many of them are going to want a smackdown from Jovanka. So tell us how to get our Jovanka Smackdown.
You can. I like you said, I have a TV show or a YouTube channel show called the Weekly Jolt, and what I do is I give wellness jolt back, pieces of advice, and I love it. I have a lot of fun with it. So you can sign up on my website at jovankaciares.com. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel and just get the Smackdown from there.
Awesome. And I believe you said you have an ebook as well and a signature detox program.
Yeah, so I have these beautiful ebooks. So when you sign up for my newsletter, as a thank you gift, I have this ebook called the Startup Wellness Guide. Awesome. And it's for those people that are trying to create a wellness routine, but they may be a little overwhelmed with information overload, or maybe they know what they want, but they don't know how to follow through. Mm-hmm. So this one is just really great. It has a lot of information. So it gives you my daily beauty routine, my daily dietary routine, some recipes for smoothies and for veggie juices, which I love. I consider them the fountain of youth. And I also have a lot of resources there. So books and videos. It's really a great little resource guide that you can just take with you, and you can print it out and put it on your wall and just reference it daily.
Perfect.
And you mentioned earlier my signature program, which is the Sexy Belly Cleanse.
Love it.
It's a 4-week detox program, but it's a mind, body, spirit detox. So it tells you, not only you will learn what works for your body and how your body functions, because, what happens in your home, you need to know what happens in your home. You also will learn to follow through and prepare and finish a 21-day mind, body, spirit, food-based cleanse. Yeah. Perfect. So that's the sexybellycleanse.com. And for all the viewers, I have a little gift. And the product is coming out. I'm releasing it at the end of May. And everybody that signs up through you, every one of the members of Business Heroine will get $50 off the price of the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. And thank you so much for the wonderful conversation today. I really enjoyed connecting with you and talking with you. Love your passion. I'm so happy that you decided to leave your corporate job and follow your mission. And so thank you so much for being here and for being you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm honored. Thank you.
All right. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You have been watching Business Heroine TV for the entrepreneur who says she will and does. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out what's new at businessheroinemagazine.com today.